hours, my whole life changed. I was like, this is it. No more bloating, no more cramping. There was gluten. How weird that this would just spring up. I'm 38 years old. And, it's just really a mystery. And then having to learn how to really, really be gluten-free is a process in itself, because gluten is hidden in so many different things. And going through that, and then just a lot of excuses in my own life of dealing with things that I attributed to maybe perimenopause and just kind of the ups and downs and flares. Well, now we know that I actually have an autoimmune disease. I have spondyloarthritis, or SPA. I like to call it just spondy. And a lot of my chronic body pain and some minor injuries that I would get that would be nagging, supraspinatus, I always complained behind my knees as a child, whether it was, like plantar fasciitis or elbow issues, shoulder issues, hip issues, ankle issues. They were always very ligament tendon kind of driven. And now we know this is part of my enthesitis, which is inflammation on attachment points. And so it's kind of like somebody was just turning up the water underneath my pot of health. And just now I was starting to boil. Things that I was living with is just, I'm getting older. Discomfort was starting to catch my attention more and more. And with that, my education deepened, because my own study and research and seeking answers for my own health and going to different kinds of doctors, natural doctors, trying to find answers. I became gluten-free, and then grain-free, soy-free, dairy-free, and then low carb. And each of these steps improved my health. But then I'd have like a flare. So we're looking at stress management and changing the way I work out and changing the way I eat. I'm more on an autoimmune approach now for the paleo. Like the autoimmune paleo is kind of the way that I'm eating right now and managing my health. And so I was able, because of my profession and my own passion about my own health and a natural interest and natural understanding of science and anatomy and physiology and biochemistry, I was able to chase this and also formalize it with formal education. And it's exciting to put it all together. But my clients that come to me, they might have the passion and the desire to heal and take control of their own health and life, and maybe reverse disease, maybe get back some of that youth. They have the desire, the want, and maybe even the need to do this. But they don't want to take 6 years and get the type of education that I have acquired in the process. And that's why they come to me. They come to me and they pour their hearts out, and I get my magnifying glass out, and we look top to bottom for root cause, and we put together a plan that works for them. Behavior and lifestyle is incredibly different to change it's like working with addicts. It really is like working with addicts. There's so much emotion and patterning, and just everything is so tied to our eating that we have to find workable ways, good choices for change, workable ways, because it's all about their success. What can we do now? What's a little step that we can do now to make you successful now? And what kind of pattern or behavior would be the best one? What do we choose first? How do we prioritize this? Because our bodies have a priority for sure. What do we need to prioritize, with the diet, with the sleep, with the movement, with the stress management? Because it's not just one of those things. You can't just go outrun poor eating. And you also just can't have, even if you find your bio-individual perfect diet for this season in your life, and not handle stress management or sleep or movement of your body. You're still going to hit a wall. So that's what I do with people. The supplements are usually very temporary. Most of my clients do, because they're so nutritionally deficient in a lot of their vitamins and minerals and their biological processes. It is very helpful in the first probably 3 to 6 months to really be taking their supplements. It helps shorten the length of time for a lot of the healing process. And if I can help you do that, then I absolutely do, but it's not mandatory. We do some lab work and look at some different things so that we can get some baselines. If you're a live in-person client, I do a functional clinical exam to get baselines again that we go and test again later. But I highly recommend, if you have been struggling and if you feel like you have been rather random in your approaches, that's stressful. That is stress. Failure after failure after failure, or temporary results or failures. I can starve anybody out and they can cut 10, 12, 25 pounds, but it'll be a temporary result because eventually they're going to re-enter life again. And they were just basically leaning on willpower. That's not the way to live. The way to live is to discover what your own body needs to function optimally for that season that you're in. It's not about, a dietitian or nutritionist that just takes everything away and the diet is so strict and restricting and you just feel left out and you're turning down dinner invitations and now you're causing stress and anxiety and depression, and social interaction is becoming fewer and fewer between because it's so restricting for you. And that's not the way it should be. That's not the way we're designed. We're designed to move our bodies and share our lives with people over good food and to have good rest and to have longevity. We do have a beginning and an end, but nowhere does it say anywhere that we are meant to be sick along the way. We are born and we die, but we make choices between those two that are going to affect the quality of our lives. And there's just different seasons. Like I was talking about how you can eat as a teenager or your 20s or even maybe in your early 30s, and how that season really changes. And it changes again during the perimenopause years, like 38 to 48, those years. And then it changes during the menopause years. And change is good. Seasons are good. And knowing what season you're in is super helpful. Knowing what seasons you have been through and how you've handled those seasons really does make a big difference. So I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you walk away basically with the understanding that you could be stressing yourself out a little bit if you were just randomly on and off dieting, randomly choosing supplements, randomly choosing different eating protocols and workout protocols and different plans. That if you really are struggling and your health is not where you would like it to be, to pick up the phone, or the internet and find a professional. Find somebody that maybe has been going through what you've been going through. Like, I'm an autoimmune girl. I have an autoimmune disease. I know what the battle is like. I know what it's like to be an athlete and to wonder what the heck is going on with your body. I am super aware of what that is like and seeking. And so I sync up with clients that have been battling and struggling on their own. And we hit it off really tight because I understand what it's like to be in that position. So give me a call. I am accepting new clients, both near and far. I do work with people online, and it's super fun. It's just really great. All my clients are impressed at the ease. They say, wow, this is a whole lot easier than I thought, or I just can't believe these results. I love it when we're doing a check-in and they tell me some other changes that they've discovered on their own. Hey, you know what I've discovered? I know I haven't had dairy for this long, and I discovered I was looking into some goat cheese and I tried it, and you know what? I don't have any issues with that. And they're learning how to assess their body that is different from just the scale and different from whether or not, they had a stomach ache or bloating. So it's really exciting on both ends, both for them and for me, to see when you honor the priority and you honor the bio-individuality of that person, and you have a organized way of supporting the body through the proper nutrients, vitamins, minerals, or digestive enzymes, whatever is needed, how easy it really is. And it's also just nice to talk to somebody about it, somebody that just has a listening ear, somebody that has been down the road, and somebody that is educated. So go and get help. Help is good. It's an investment in yourself. And you can either pay a nutritionist like myself now, or you can pay a pharmaceutical company or a doctor later, kind of a thing, and pay them again and again and again. So anyways, it's a little bit of a push towards people in my line of work, but I'm telling you what, it makes all the difference. And it is just super exciting. And lastly, it's also a pay it forward. I love when I hear from my clients, like I did this morning from a client, how she has a good friend that lives a distance from her and has watched my client change so much over the last year. And now she's kind of counseling and coaching her, saying, this is what you need to do. You need to be where you are, and you need to go get help because you're struggling and you have this history of dieting or overweight and you're frustrated. Just do it. Put a little bit of time and effort into now, get the tools, and you get to keep those tools. My clients that work with me, they get to keep the tools and the knowledge that they gain forever. And they also have that relationship with me. Random text, email, maybe a one-off session or something when they do have a question or there's a change in their seasons. So I hope you enjoy the day. I'm super excited. I feel amazing today. Still no meds with my spondy, and I'm loving that. And I'm getting ready to make myself a wonderful, nutritious breakfast hash. I don't know. I might go kale, maybe a little sweet potato. I've got some pork sausage I need to make. And so I'm really looking forward to my own nutrient-dense post-workout, post-workday breakfast. So go and enjoy the day. And this is Brandy Lloyd with The Path Nutritional Therapy. You can find me at thepathforhealth.com. Also on Facebook and Instagram. And be on the lookout. I'm starting to do the entries for my cookbook, so I'm really excited about that. And then also be on the lookout. I'm going to be starting my sign-ups for my next Restart program, which is a 5-week program on helping you get your blood sugar under control, clean up your diet, start feeling really great. And so you'll see that on my website. So stay in touch with me. Thank you again for listening. And please share this with somebody else that needs to be encouraged to go find some help. And don't forget to leave me a comment or a review. And if there's anything you kind of want me to podcast on or educate on, I absolutely love that. All right. Enjoy your day. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.